guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to work on this video of the upgrade of this truck. You have already seen the drive video. If you haven't, go ahead and check it out. It's the video just before this one. And I'm going to use a spare frame rail that I had for a trailer that I was going to build. I ordered a frame rail and I decided I'm just going to build me a truck. And I had some N20 motors and a bunch of these B16 leaf springs, and I basically just reversed them so that I could make longer leaf springs compared to the stock leaf springs, so that I could have more travel. My truck is a little light, but if I had more weight in it, I'd probably have 3 tire of flex. If I'd be able to get that much flex out of them. And another important thing I'm going to do about this mod here is I'm going to shorten the axles so the wheelbase can accommodate this truck correctly. And I'm using some of this new super glue that I've been using lately to super glue it. Some of this CA glue, and it's working pretty good. I've been really impressed. So yeah, basically I took 8 millimeters off of the length of the axle to accommodate this Nissan. It looks like that first coat is not very it's kind of thin stuff, so I'm going to put several coats on it to strengthen it up. And obviously it's held up pretty good. You've seen the truck on the trail already. I'm going to put another drop on it to fill in all these gaps that are left over here. Some of this CA glue. That particular piece of plastic is doesn't really stick to the surface there because it's, I don't know, doesn't glue very good. So this is a pretty good surface to use. I got it off a DVD case. So I'm going to give it probably one more coat. And I'm going to do all my axles this way. So yeah, once I'm done, I'm just going to CA glue them. Then I'm going to put in some, I've been using plastic gears on this truck because I'm using the N20 motors and they're so slow that it doesn't affect the gears at all. It doesn't really need metal gears or metal drive lines, because it's just geared low. So I'm using some thin metal to make the shackles, and I'm gonna have to curve them so they can go over the hanger. I curve both ends of the spring so one can attach to the front hanger, and I'm setting them up this way. Some people might think it's reverse, but a lot of Jeeps are set up this way. Yeah, the main reason I'm putting the shackles the same as the rear shackle is because I want my suspension, when it goes over a rock, I want the tire to not push forward. I want it to push backward towards it, you know what I mean, so I can roll over the rock easier. So that's why I'm setting them up in the front. So the what do you call, the shackle is gonna need to be set a certain tension, and when the weight flows forward, it's gonna be it's a lot easier than the other way. It's not like fighting the trail. So these springs are really bouncy and soft. They seem like they're like, wow, that seems kind of stiff, but no, the way them shackles work and the way that curve is on there, you don't want it like that. You don't want it to bottom out like that and just use that kind of flex, because that's really not good flex. You want it to have spring tension to lift up to absorb the shock. Basically, if it goes like that, you got a broken shackle, and that's not what you want. Yeah, so once you figure out how you want your spring set and your tension, you can drill a hole out on this frame. That's what I did anyways. The rear lined up perfect. I didn't have to drill any holes on the rear of the frame. This front shackle needs to, even the rear shackle, this angle is kind of important because you want it to max out its tension. You know what I mean? So like basically you'll get a nice soft fluid flex without any binding, and this angle is the key. It's like you know, well, it depends how your leaf is curved too. You want to have a little bit of curve, not too much. Some springs are flat too, and they stack a bunch of leaves on the trucks. But since these trucks are so small, I'm gonna use about a couple B1, you know, the little springs on the, instead of so many plastic springs, because the plastic springs have no flex, and you want to have flex like this metal. So basically, that's how it goes. They basically fall into the slot there, and I might want to file them out a little bit more so there's more play. And I'm going to use one of these upgrade WPL. It was under the listing for an upgrade servo for WPL trucks, metal gears, and I'm using this 320 ESC for so I can run 3S lipo if I want to, and I'm going to use a Fly Sky receiver. And if you want some signal lights too, you should check out my video. And these are very cheap. And the ESCs, people think they're expensive, but you can actually find them for under $4, especially if you buy them in a bulk. So yeah, check out that video. I think you'll like that. So it's pretty entertaining. I looped the power source there so I can just plug in my one battery, and the ESC automatically turns on. So the video will explain some of that too. And I put my signal lights and original stickers on there so that it can look that more like it did when it was stock. So basically gonna use my homemade engine mount or motor mounts for those N20 motors. And here's a new little steering link that no one's used yet. And if you buy one of the metal links, you can save yourself some money and do 2 trucks with this. I'm not sure where you can get those ball joints. And I cut my hood open, and I cut the front of the grill right here because that's supposed to go on my hood, on the edge of it, so that I can put batteries in there too in the front, because I like all my electronics in the front. And here's a pretty cool little part, how to make lenses out of one of these fractional size drill gauges. If you haven't seen these before, they're pretty handy to have if you need to figure out the gauge or something, but they're also good for this. I figured out, basically get a lighter and I heat up, not too close to it for too long, and I do it slowly. I heat up around the edge there, and you can see it warping, and I get one of my X-Acto knife edges and I kind of spin it like this so I can make a dome. I want it to be round, and it might take a couple lights just to get the dome lens the way I want it. And yeah, so when it's warm, just spin it like that. I got a couple little tricks like this too if you want to make boots for your truck. I got another video on one of my other ones how you can do that too. Pretty cool little tricks like this go a long ways, because to get lenses, you know what I mean, are kind of hard to come by. These are not going to make very big lenses, so actually you can go up to a 1/2 inch. This is not the biggest size. The bottom part of it's you can go up to a 1/2 inch lens, and you can probably find other fractional gauge for your drills and stuff so that you can make bigger lenses. So once it cools down, you can get your X-Acto knife and cut lines in there, make some nice little lenses. Pretty, I'm not 100% perfect, but darn near it. You know what I mean? Really close. So that's pretty neat. So get one of these little scalpels and make yourself little grids in there so that you can have a real looking lens. So that turned out pretty good. I mean, my lines inside there are not 100% perfect, but the grids are close enough that it looks pretty decent. I was pretty happy. I wasn't about to go buy some lenses and all of a sudden they're wrong size, you know what I mean? So if you got one of these gauges, measure out your lens that you need to do. Yeah, and you can make up to a 1/2 inch lens. So yeah, it's a pretty good one.
We continue to investigate unsolved homicides.
Alright, let's take a closer look if we can here at the little lenses. It's not 100% perfect, but it's pretty close. Like I said, it works. You know, and especially when you cut the little grids in there or slice them or scratch them in there with the X-Acto knife. Yeah, it starts to look like something. So I think this is I got this from like some muffler repair kit a long time ago. Works pretty good for making lenses too. So I'm going to use it here for the blinkers. Yep, it's working pretty good. So yeah, if you want to see my my video about the blinkers, yeah, check that out. I think you'll like that. It's gonna come in handy. I'm gonna do that to my Land Rovers too because they need blinkers. These are the WPL upgrade 3D printed rims. I'm gonna change it back to the RC 4-wheel drive rims because they're metal and they work a little better. Let's look at this ball joint here. With this ball joint, I almost 100% hear my bump steer pretty close, just like some of my other trucks have no bump steer, but this ball joint works out pretty good.